Okay, we
Please
are
let me know when
recording.
you've got the recording going.
Yep, we're up and running.
Nice. Okay, great. Well, of course, it's always a warm welcome back to the Kings and Queens. I'm just so happy to be with you all. It just kind of feels like even though we've been, together through social media and everything and having sort of some individual calls, it kind of feels like it's been a while since we met together. And I know it hasn't been that long, but we were kind of off for a week. So, now we're actually in our third mastermind call. And of course, off the top, I want everyone to know just how proud I am, and also to just start this call out with expressing congratulations and also celebrating you all just for all that you've been accomplishing so far. And since we met last, there's been, 2 5-day challenges, a couple of collaboration calls, and also the continual building and kind of ongoing masterminding that we've been doing. But before I start to share sort of the primary agenda for this call that was outlined in the email that you all received or should have received, did you all receive the email?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I did, yeah.
Okay, good. So I would love to sort of hear from anyone who wants to step forward and share what you're most proud of in the present that deserves celebration from what you've recently been doing. Of course, everything is a celebratory experience, big or small. And afterwards, I just want to hear from you all. I'm going to kind of do like maybe some check-ins about what your biggest takeaways have been so far about the process. So save those answers, but right now, let's hear about some of the things you just want to celebrate, for yourself or even maybe others. Chirp.
Okay, well, I'll start.
Okay, great. I was like, well, no one has anything to celebrate? Okay.
First of all, I'm thankful to have celebrated a birthday, and
Yay,
to be here for another year was a great celebration for me. Others may feel differently, but
I highly doubt that.
But another year has passed, and I want to be a lot more productive this year. The past few weeks, there hasn't really been so many tangible accomplishments per se. There's just been, the normal Monday updates with the Mount Building Monday, doing a lot more on my website, which is an ongoing process.
Oh, great.
Working to become more active on LinkedIn and social media, which is also ongoing. So that's pretty much been keeping me busy.
Okay.
As well as the latest challenge. I'm still working.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah, we'll get into that soon. Thank you, King Joseph. I appreciate that. And of course, I'm happy that you've celebrated another year. And again, I highly doubt that anyone is feeling differently about that. Or give me the names and address.
I always say there's only one way to stop getting older, and I'm not ready for that yet. So.
I know that's the truth. That's a triple amen to that.
Dirt nap.
Amen. No dirt nap. No dirt nap.
Yeah.
I'll stay on this side of the grass for a while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else want to jump in? Something you want to celebrate about yourself, or just anything?
For me, there's been a shift really in terms of 2 things. One, getting my head round a style of writing, which I think particularly in the UK, where we tend to underplay things rather than overplay things. So that was a bit of a stretch, and I'm getting much more comfortable with that. But also there was an aha moment in the week where I've got a separate coaching program, which is always, it was how do I marry that with the Enlightened Leadership stuff?
Yes.
And so coming up with the idea of the Enlightened Leadership Accelerator program, where people work one-on-one with me as a high-end thing, was quite an aha moment, and I think will will help me.
Oh yeah, that's something to celebrate for sure.
Yeah. So pleased with that, and a very good conversation with you during the week. Thank you.
Oh, great, great. And we're going to come back around to that as well. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anyone else got anything they want to congratulate themselves on or sort of celebrate?
I will.
Yeah.
As I mentioned to the group in the email, I have, man, that lunar eclipse and Mercury retrograde and everything else.
Retrograde,
yeah. Retrograde.
Like
I just want to say
retrograde,
retrograde because I just wanted to run away so I could retrograde. But it was, I've had, last couple of weeks, I've been dealing with some energy shifts. And sometimes often when you're going for bigger growth, you have to, go there. And I didn't give into it. I leveraged it. Thank you, AliNICOLE, many times for being a great supporter during that. So I could move through that and turn that, pain into power and move through the energy that I was going through. And I finally, a couple days ago, come out the other side and okay, now there I am again. And so that's a big celebration because I was feeling really lost.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Really lost. But, the other thing I want to celebrate is I was really giving thought to that actually yesterday. I had put in my vision for this year in the business that I wanted to create some partnerships. I'm tired of working alone. And, I had wonderfully attracted, AliNICOLE, Queen AliNICOLE. That was a wonderful partnership. And then you guys, I was really thinking about that. It's how nice we have this team of trusted, professionals that each have their strengths. And I just want to celebrate you guys and being part of my vision and feeling that support, even if we're not necessarily having some individual time, just knowing that you're there and that we're all working toward our bigger growth. It creates accountability for me, which is needed. And also just it just feels good to have support. So I just want to celebrate that.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. That is beautiful. That's huge. That's very huge. Much appreciated too.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? It's not mandatory.
Well, I'm celebrating having had some time off. That's for sure.
Yes, I was waiting to hear that. Exactly.
Lucky.
Yeah,
it was good. Honestly, I'm paying the price a little bit this week, but well worth it for sure. It was
worth it for sure.
Absolutely stunning.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
We're just so fortunate to have that within an hour's drive of where we live. And,
wow.
Yeah, we're very lucky.
Yeah, beautiful. So glad you shared those images.
Yeah, it was quite something. We didn't have spectacular weather the whole week. We had some rain, but for the most part, it was pretty good. And boy, it's been a while since we've done some of those hikes.
Your body could tell that, right?
That's for sure. Yeah, we were learning quite quickly what kind of shape I'm in, and it's not the right kind of shape I should be in. So. But no, it was great. And this week coming back, I've had a lot to do. I've started implementing my YouTube strategy that I've changed up a little bit. I've got more work to do on my website and a number of other things. That the to-do list keeps growing, as you all know.
Of course. Yeah, of course. It's right.
Yes,
it's to do.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just can't seem to check things off fast enough. But
Join the club. But
it will actually start to level out, believe it or not. It's just that when you are accelerating more and having to implement, especially when you're building new processes or up leveling the current ones, you will find that you are kind of in this overproductive mode in a sense. But it's only setting up the structure so that things can actually be easier and lighter moving forward. So you actually will start to see that kind of taper off. Not within the next month, though, but yeah.
No. Slowly but surely, right?
Yeah, slowly but surely.
Well, it's coming along, and I'm happy about that. And I crossed over 11,000 followers on LinkedIn.
Yay! Congratulations! Congratulations!
Yeah, it's fun. I know it's not huge compared to some, but it's for me that's pretty good.
It's perfect for you. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's great. That is great. Well, if no one else, we can do is I am going to go ahead and open it up sort of just to have a little bit of discussion about your takeaways and ahas and even around the challenges that we've had, you know, so far, or challenges that you've had so far. So King Tom, if you don't have anything you want to jump in and share, we'll move into that and maybe you can talk more in the open discussion. Okay, I'm going to take that as, is everyone able to hear? Because I'm not really able to hear Tom. Tom, are you still here?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Maybe delays on my part, so I'm not actually, I can hear you fine actually when you just said that. All right, so let's kind of jump in real quick, and then I'm going to actually get into some divine intuitive group and individual assessment. I'm going to explain what that is. But so what has been your biggest takeaways or even ahas or challenges that you've had so far? Since our last call, I should say.
Okay, with me, my challenge is creating products.
Okay.
That appears to be a stone of stumbling for me. Taking what I have to offer and putting it in a package form that's palatable for the clients that are going to receive it.
Okay.
That appears to be a challenge for me.
Okay. Well, it's not a challenge for me, so I will be able to help you with that.
I imagine not.
And I'm sure others within the group, you know, who have done product development as well will be able to provide some insight and even maybe some assistance as well. So, yeah, so we'll just step you into the solution space. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that on our next call together and see kind of what we can come up with, because it's definitely high time for you to be in that product development mode in the easiest way. So that's a good thing. All right, anybody else, or are we ready to move?
I'm in that same boat.
Okay, you're in the same boat? Okay.
Yeah.
I have company, good.
As long as it's not the misery part that loves it.
I found the structure that you created is helpful. You'll recognise by now that I like structure because
you're breaking up for me, Gina. I think it's my headset here. Can you say that again?
I said one of the things that I found really helpful is that when you did the 5-day challenge, and again when you've done the 5-week challenge, that you have given us an embryonic structure, and you know already that I would like to take something and then make it into, you call it a template, I call it a structure.
Yeah.
So I can see clearly what I've got to do, because this is just one strand of lots of things that I'm doing. And time is my biggest challenge. So the more I can streamline it into something where I can see clearly what I've got to do, that I find really, really helpful.
Great.
And having the accountability and also having your feedback as I achieve each thing, to know that I'm on the right path, and because otherwise it can feel as if it's in a vacuum.
I see, yes.
And I'm interpreting what's said, so it's quite reassuring to know if I'm on the right track or not, because it was quite conceivable that I'd gone off completely off track. It wouldn't be the first time. So
you've been doing great.
So I've found that very helpful, and even if you go back to the previous one, I've been talking about doing an audit of all of the stuff that I've got, and I haven't done it because there've been other things, but it made me do an audit of what I'd got, and so it's just focusing the mind, and that's really helpful.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That is great. And you've been doing really well so far, so pat on the back for sure to yourself. That you can actually congratulate and celebrate that too within, your celebration structure, so to speak. So thank you so much, Queen Gina, for sharing
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I will share. I'm proud that I'm being patient with myself. I am making progress. I'm not, I did not complete at exact timeliness of the challenges, but I am doing them. I am working to demonstrate them, and I'm giving myself the space I need to further wrap up my 5-week plan so that I can actually feel good about executing. And in doing that, I have been, like you, Gina, time is of essence. And so I, sent you and AliNICOLE yesterday. I'm looking at ways, learning, from you, AliNICOLE, and some of the things I've done before as well, looking at ways to repurpose old material and bring it into the new energy, and trying to find, so I put myself a challenge in my 5-week to find 5 pieces and then repurpose those pieces each individually 5 times. And so I set a little chart that I've been worked on yesterday. I can share later and I type it up with the group, but that article I did with the well-being assessment is one of them. So I'm trying to, that curation, there's a lot of creating going on, and that was feeling, good, but also a little overwhelming. And I have all this stuff that I've had over the years, products and different things. So I'm working to revitalize those. So that's one thing I'm taking away. Another is, if you guys haven't yet listened to Queen AliNICOLE's interview with Samar, I've had wonderful conversations. I take lots of notes when we have our one-on-ones, AliNICOLE, but and I trust you tremendously. You know that. I just go with the energy of it. But hearing that in the way that you were able to break it down, simplifying for new listeners, not at our level of doing this, it actually fed me so well, and it gave me even more of a structure of where you're taking us, and connect to some dots for me and lighten some things. So I don't know if you guys haven't listened. Gina, you probably really, really like that, because it gave me that structure of, okay, here's where she's taking us. We're going to be brilliant. Watch us. Yeah, it's brilliant. You're so brilliant. I think Gina
actually did hear it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. That just warmed me all over.
It's brilliant. It's like, it made it I hate to say this because it's brilliant, but it like dumped it down so I can go, I can digestible. And that didn't mean dumped it down, because you're brilliant how you communicate it, but it made it really digestible, for where I'm at in the energy, trying to get back in my groove. So I just recommend you guys to listen to it. It really helped.
Yeah, I look forward to listening in on that. I know a couple of weeks back we were kind of wondering when that would be released, and so it obviously.
I know, right? It's been released. I actually tagged you all in a couple of posts on it, but I know King Rob, you had been off the grid, so you might not have gotten the chance, to see that, or it's buried within the notifications. But yours actually should be coming out soon. I know Queen Renee's has been recently posted too, and it was phenomenal. Which I'm going to talk about that actually too within this call today and everything. So I've got some big things, to share. But thank you so much, Queen Renee, for just that wonderful feedback and empowering, empowering energy. Because I felt even more energized after you said that. I was feeling warm and fuzzy, and like I said, it's already warm over here. But thank you. I really appreciate that. Really, really do.
You're very welcome.
I listened and
thank
enjoyed
you.
I've already listened to it and enjoyed it. I found it really good too. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for your comment on YouTube, Queen Gina. I responded to it yesterday. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I really appreciate you. So if does anyone else want to share about any takeaways or challenge, or has everybody shared? I think I got caught up in what Queen Renee said, and I might have forgot. But if not, we can move forward.
I think I have some overlap with everybody here. Time is a challenge this week, but I feel like the roadmap is fairly clear. It's just going to be when I get to developing the higher end products. And we'll be moving definitely into that, which I'll be talking even in this call
because believe it or not, things are actually about to shift, and there's going to be more of a customization type of format. And I'll speak a little bit more about that as we get into more of the content for today. But I'm extremely proud of everybody. And what you'll find is that as you are building and these challenges and everything that you're working on, sometimes you're not going to actually get them done within the certain time frame. The goal is really to be moving the energy forward, okay? And so as long as you are moving the energy forward, obviously with intent to get at least the basics done of what the challenge is, that's what's going to be most important. But you'll find, especially like with the one that we just recently had, that's why it is a 5-week. But for some, that's going to be more than 5 weeks. You'll just be setting things up continuously. Just keep moving the energy forward without the pressure, so to speak, to have to get it done. It's doable, obviously, but sometimes you won't be able to just execute like that because you do have your time schedules, but also too, some of your creations may want to develop further. So, you have to honor that. You'll also find that you may step into what I do, and I think I mentioned this to Queen Renee and Queen GINA just in a message this morning about the multiplication process. Because once you start really in this royal flush energy, just from the basic level, moving kind of up into the higher tier, it begins to be a rinse and repeat and a multiplication type of system. So you'll find where you're creating multiple plans of kind of a royal flush, a 5-week process, or you may set yourself up for ones that are 5 months where 1 month you're working on a particular thing. So this opens up and expands, like I said. Yeah, I won't get into all that because.
But that's really. Can I just say though, I appreciate you saying that because me, I miss accountability. I like to keep my commitments, and it's nice to know that you give us credit that we're moving the ball forward, even if we didn't make the end of the week a specific agenda. That that feels good to me because I want to keep my responsibilities here in the group, but time-wise, trying to maneuver everything. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're most welcome. I'm the first to know that, especially when it comes to the creation process, that sometimes you get started and it takes a shape of its own. And that's not something that you want to be able to hinder, trying to box it into a structure and even a timetable that may not be required or necessary. So like I said, these challenges, yes, you do need to complete them in the timely fashion, but I do know that there are certain components and elements that just it won't. And even if you do create, let's say you finish a basic part of it, right? So you may complete the challenge, but it may open up to you to do more, which is going to cause you to have to create another plan around it. And then that kind of starts another cycle. So, which is not a bad thing. Yeah, which is not a bad thing. But, what I want to do now is move forward because the energy is actually pretty high in this space right now. And so it's kind of a good time for me to kind of be present with the energy. So with